Hello, students of grade 9. I hope you are doing well even today. I hope that you haven't forgotten the advice of washing your hands and disinfecting them with hand gel sanitizer. The topic for today will be comparative and superlative. In this topic, we are going to revise the two structures, the comparative and superlative, the distinction between them. But before continuing with these two structures, we are going to revise the adjective. What does the adjective mean to you? An adjective is a word that can describe a noun. It is normally placed before the noun or after an auxiliary. I have provided you some example. The large house, the house is very expensive, and the last sentence is eco-market sells good products. So let's analyze the three models. The large house, in this case, large is the adjective and is positioned before the noun. The house is very expensive. In this case, expensive is the adjective and it is positioned after the auxiliary verb to be. Eco-market sells goods products. The adjective good is positioned before the noun. But apart these three reasons, apart the description of a noun or that is placed before the noun or after an auxiliary, there is another reason why I have brought to you this example. So, is there any distinction between these three adjectives, large, expensive, and good? So, do you have any idea for what have used all these three adjectives? Okay, let's discover it in the next slide. So, how many adjectives do we have? We have three types of adjective: short, long, and irregular. So, in the previous slide, I have used the three types of adjective. I have used the short adjective, large, the long adjective, expensive, and the good irregular adjective, good irregular. Okay, but how can we tell or how can we distinguish these three types of adjective: short, long, and irregular? The comparative is normally used if you want to compare two things or people. But when we compare using short adjectives, so the short adjectives, right now I'm going to explain why we call them short adjectives. We call this type short adjectives because contain one up to two syllables. For example, the adjective tall, it contains just only one syllable. The adjective easy contains two syllables. So when we compare by using short adjectives, we add the endings r, er, and ier plus then at the end of the adjective. You're taller than me. My car is cheaper than your car. So in this case, I have here a comparison between two persons, or we have a comparison between the people. My car is cheaper than your car. We have here a comparison between two cars. If an adjective ends in a vowel plus consonant, so you can distinguish very well which are the vowels and which are the consonants. We double the consonant and add er. Big, bigger, hot, hotter, thin, thinner, fat, fatter. And if an adjective ends with a y, we change it to I and add er. Happy, happier, funny, funnier, easy, easier, ugly, uglier. And the last one, if an adjective ends with an e, we just only add r to the adjective. Nice, nicer. When we compare two things or people, we use long adjective. But which are these long adjectives? What does a long adjective mean? A long adjective contains more than 2 syllables, so that's why we call it a long adjective. For example, long adjective is expensive, beautiful, dangerous, tremendous. So, beautiful, beautiful. So, I have divided it into syllables. Dangerous. Even this adjective contains 3 syllables. Below, there are 2 examples of 2 sentences in the comparative form by using the long adjectives. More beautiful than gentle. The book is more interesting than that. But what about the irregular adjective? The irregular adjective, they change the form. They do not follow rules. Which are the irregular adjectives? Good, bad, far, little, many, and much. Good, it is transformed into better, bad into worse, far, farther, little, less, much, more. If you want to compare a thing with a whole group of things or a person with a whole group of people, you have to use a superlative. When using short adjective, one syllable adjective, we add the plus adjective and the appropriate endings st, est, and iest. For example, the red car is the fastest of all cars, or the red car is the fastest in the group. She's the nicest girl in the class, and the third exercise in English was the easiest of all. When we use long adjective, we add the most plus adjective. I have provided you with 2 examples. He's the most intelligent student in the class. She's the most beautiful girl in the world. But what happened to the irregular adjective? The irregular adjective do change the form. They don't follow rules as the 2 first. So the 2 first, I'm referring to the short adjectives and the long adjectives. So here's a list of the irregular adjectives that change the form. Good, the best. Bad, the worst. Far, the farthest. Little, the least. In this slide, and even in the next one, you are going to see 2 tables with short adjective and the long adjectives. So the first table, it refers to the short adjectives in the 2 forms, in the comparative and the superlative. I have picked up some types of adjective. Short, shorter than, the shortest. High, higher than, the highest. Easy, easier than, the easiest. Nice, nicer than, the nicest. Clever, cleverer than, the cleverest. While the next slide, it refers to the long adjectives. Interesting, more interesting than. Beautiful, more beautiful than. Intelligent, more intelligent than. Expensive, more expensive than. Dangerous, more dangerous than. Interesting, the most interesting. Beautiful, the most beautiful. Intelligent, the most intelligent. Expensive, the most expensive. And dangerous, the most dangerous. Here's an activity for you. You have to write the comparative and superlative form of the given adjective. It is very easy. And another activity, you are going to find the irregular adjective in this slide. Another comparative structure that you are going to learn and to revise as well is the S plus adjective plus S, and I provided you with the 2 examples. Cindy is as beautiful as Pamela. Tom is as fat as Gordon. So the structure S plus adjective plus S is used to compare people, places, things, or events when there is no difference. So it is used to compare things that are of similar proportion. So this was the end of the lesson for today. We are going to see in the next class. Bye.